Do you guys remember those like videos of those guy of that like Latino guy, and he would be like, today's topic, slavery, or like I think he was talking about cocaine once, and I don't know, he seemed maybe not all there, and he would just talk about like really crazy stuff until he went viral. That's how I feel when I like sit here. But I wanted to talk about AI, and it's because about a month ago, I think, was when that little boy from Florida committed suicide, and his mother was saying it was because of character AI. And I don't remember what the whole story was because I just saw it briefly on like Twitter. But I guess it was like he was using character AI, I think, to talk of to like a Game of Thrones character, and I guess he like fell in love with it and killed himself or something like that. And there was a lot of people like on either side of like either agreeing with the mother and being like, yeah, it's completely character AI's fault, and then there was other people being like, no, that little boy was dumb, and that was such a dumb thing to kill yourself over. And my immediate thought wasn't like who was at fault. It was like I had never even heard of character AI before, and so it was like, why does this exist? And then I was talking to a friend about it, and I was like asking her if she heard about it, and she was like, no. And she was talking about how she doesn't use AI at all. And like, I guess when you think about AI, that's like the type of things that you think of would be like chat GPT. But then I was like, okay, but like that doesn't, like, who needs that? And she was talking about how she doesn't use AI, and I was talking about how I just started to use AI because I see a lot of people use it to like teach themselves stuff, like for like language learning. And I've seen a lot of people being like, oh, chat GPT makes my like morning routine and stuff like that. And so that's why I started to like look into it. Then it got progressive, and I was like, well, actually we use AI for everything. And like really basic would be like Siri on the phone, Alexa. I literally have an Alexa that I use as an alarm clock and to like turn on my room lights. And some people use Hey Google. And then beyond like assistants, like I would say Chat GPT is like kind of an assistant, and Alexa, Siri, and Google are assistants. But then like navigation, like GPS is that not, that's AI too, right? Because it's like trying its best to give you like real time like traffic alerts and stuff like that. And there's no way for it to know that besides it being artificial intelligence. And then I was thinking like algorithms, you know, like social media, the way Spotify does its random shuffle. When you like literally search stuff on Google now and it gives you that AI overview, I remember when I first started to notice that that pops up. At first I used to like ignore it, and now I just look at it and I'm like, okay, this is what I Googled, this is the first thing that shows up. And then going like even farther back, like something that I feel like was like the first like, oh, this is so annoying, customer service chatbots, that little like helper that pops up when you're like on a website like shopping or something, and they're like, oh, can we help you with anything? Those are all AI. And I don't know, I feel like we think of AI now as, I feel like people just think chat GPT and that character thingy. And so I was like, well, why do we even have these things? Well, we actually have it integrated with like literally everything. And I know that there's a lot of people who are like trying to stir away from technology because they feel like all our whole lives are like basically done for us. And a lot of people are trying to like revert to like older technology. I personally have older technology just because I remember liking it so much as a little kid. It's not even like a, oh, I think that my iPhone is bad. It's just that like I have a CD player because I genuinely have a lot of fun burning CDs, and I don't want to pay for Spotify. I have a PSP because I always loved those. I have a film camera. Like, oh, I'll show you. When I was younger, I always really liked cameras, and my mom used to have a hand camcorder, and I recently bought one because I'd been saying to everybody that I wanted to get one and like film like my skateboarding and stuff like that, like they used to do, because I love how it looks. I got this film camera a while ago at a thrift shop, and it's like the lens is kind of greenish, and it's like it's a Japanese lens. I have this old digital camera that was my mom's, and I have this old digital camera that was my mom's. And then one of the first cameras I ever got was this one. It was a gift from my mom because she knew how much I thought like Polaroids and like old film was cool, and so she got me the newest version of that old camera. But yeah, I've always just liked old technology. It was never like a, oh, I'm sick of the one I have, because I love my iPhone. It's very convenient, and clearing it out, like getting rid of social media, getting rid of like apps I didn't use that much. I think I mentioned that I liked how convenient it was that I can just pay for stuff on my phone. Like I have my car insurance as an app, I have my phone bill as an app, I have my car payments on an app. Like everything is just right there on my phone, and I love that. And so I don't think that I would ever be one of those people who switches to like a brick phone because they're sick of technology nowadays. But going back to AI, and how it's like integrated into like everything that we do nowadays. Like everyone has its own AI, which I think is kind of funny now that they have the like, what's the one on Google called, like Gemini? Apple has Apple Intelligence, and they're making all of these like, I guess they're chatbots. Yeah, would you consider the Google AI and the Apple AI and Chat GPT? They give you an answer. Whereas if you ask Alexa or ask Siri, they would tell you, oh, this is what I found, and they would give you a bunch of links. Instead of the links ChatGPT and Google Gemini, it will give you a summary of those links that they found. You know what I mean? But the questions are they needed and are they helpful? Like, where do we go from here? Like, do they need to be more advanced? Because I know that when you go on ChatGPT, because that's the only one that I've like looked at besides the Google AI overview, it says that like this may not be completely accurate and like you should do your own research. Is it needed in like the sense of like, is it actually beneficial? Like, because usually when Google AI overview does something, I usually scroll down after reading it, like try to find an actual source anyways. So it's like, I mean, I guess it like very quickly gave me the info. If I just want to be like, right, real quick, like let's say I'm arguing with a friend or something. I think the last thing that I looked was what is the Glasgow Coma scale, and it gave like very quick definitions. But then after, like, I went to an actual website and like looked at it in more detail. So I guess it's helpful in like just a quick answer. I don't actually think that they're needed, you know. How are they going to advance it more? Because it like gives a summary of what it finds, and then it tells you that it's like not accurate sometimes. But like, how would I know when it's accurate and when it isn't? I'm asking it a question, you know, like I don't know the answer, so I'm gonna assume that you know the answer because you're the intelligence. Like you're the one that's supposed to be like giving the summary of all of the stuff that you find on the internet or whatever. And then besides like not knowing if it's accurate or not, I feel like it's a little bit unpersonal. So there's obviously that big argument about AI artists and how when AI makes art, it just looks a little off. It's like something about it is always weird. And there's always that joke that I see on TikTok of when like somebody draws something like just so out of pocket, and a lot of the comments were like, AI could never do this. Like it doesn't have the imagination of an actual person. AI generated art. I mean, a lot of people fall for it, but there's always like something unsettling about it, I guess. Going back to the little boy from Florida, that would have never happened if that didn't exist. And then like, what the fuck is character AI for? Like, I understand the forms of AI that I spoke of were like helpful, and they like give answers to questions, and it's like it's fast, and everything nowadays is just faster. But what caused the death, I feel like, was something so unnecessary. Like, why do I need to be able to talk to SpongeBob? You know, like what benefit does that give? I don't know. I'm always really slow to new technology advancements just because I grew up very poor. Like, I didn't get an iPhone until I was in like high school. My first iPhone was the iPhone like 5. I've always been drawn to older technologies just because that's what I always had. Everybody else had an iPod when I had an MP3 player, you know, like everybody else had an MP3 player when I had a CD player. I was always a bit behind. And so the reason that I have old technology isn't because I'm just like, this is better, because it's a lot less convenient. Like trying to shove my CD player in my pocket is very inconvenient. It's just a form of comfort because I know how it works, you know, and I'm used to it. I guess I just wanted to speak on like where does it go from here? Like, what do they do now that it's here? And there's obviously an abuse, you know, what happened to that little boy. I don't know if he like, didn't have any friends and he became so attached to this thing. And then there's the people who use AI to create art and they become like wealthy that way. I know that there's this thing that people do on TikTok, like, you know, those like that game where they're like running Subway Surfers, that game Subway Surfers, and it's usually like, oh, it'll read like Reddit stories. They now have it where like people have AI write a story and then they have the Subway Surfers playing while an AI voice is reading an AI drafted story. And then the people who post it, they make money from the views on TikTok. And you go in the comments and it's always like, you can very obviously tell that AI wrote this because it didn't make sense, but like you still sat there and you listened to it and you watched the video, and so that person's still getting paid, and they make a lot of money, because why else would they, like, and it's like low effort. Like, I didn't have to write anything, I didn't have to actually play Subway Surfers, I didn't have to voice over, like AI did everything for me, and I get the money. Or like I'm not even gonna get into those fucking pictures of monkeys. I don't remember the name, but I'll find a picture and I'll show you, because that was like such a weird thing to me, and I think it's just because I'm not in that world. Like, I'm not wealthy, and so I don't understand things like that. But it was so weird, those like photos of like ugly ass monkeys, and they were worth $1 million. Or like, I'm 25 and I still don't understand what the fuck Bitcoin and Dogecoin is, because I don't know, I'm poor, and so like I have other things to worry about, like how I'm gonna like afford food, you know? But I don't know, just technological advances, and specifically, there's like something very uncomfortable about AI. Like, I was very skeptical to start using ChatGPT, and then when I did start using it, I didn't even find it very helpful. Like, I saw a lot of people being like, ChatGPT made my daily routine. And so I was like, yeah, let me try that. And it's so like, I don't know, like stupid. Like, hold on. I had ChatGPT make me a morning routine. And it was like, the thing that bothered me was that it didn't have me take a shower. It had washing my face before brushing my teeth and getting dressed. So it was literally like, wash your face, eat breakfast, and then get dressed and brush your teeth. And I don't know, that like, wouldn't you wash your face and brush your teeth at the same time? Like, it was weird. For like a night routine, it was like, dim all the lights and turn off your phone and then read. But how am I gonna read if I turned off the lights already? You know, it was just, I don't know, it was like a little bit off. And the only prompt I gave it was that I was like, can you make me a morning routine? I want to wake up at 5. And can you give me a night routine? I want to be in bed by 11. Like, that's all I said to it. The things that were included in it, I understood doing. Like, it was like, oh, read instead of watching TV, and like journal and stuff like that. Like, the like normal, I'm a productive person type of stuff. But it was just the order that it put it in was really weird. I don't know, I guess that goes back to it like being a little bit unpersonal. I think it had it like me, it was like part of the night routine was like take a shower for like 10 minutes, and I was like, my showers are not 10 minutes, and I don't shower at night, I shower in the morning. And it was like, you know, how could ChatGPT know that? Another thing with how I use a CD player instead of Spotify, because I didn't feel like Spotify was worth the money, because when I put it on shuffle, it fucking sucks. And like, is that not, it's like AI like that does that part. I always hate Spotify shuffle, and so I just make playlists how I want the songs to be, and then I just burn the CD. But I guess that's all. It's just, the thought came like a month ago. I think the news of the little boy was like the week of Halloween. Today's November 20th. After I heard that, and it wasn't even like I read the whole story, it was just like a headline on like a Twitter post, and I was like, that's awful. And then I was looking at people's comments of the headline, and they were like, this is stupid, or like, this is terrible. And I was just like, I really did not know who to be at fault. Like, is the little boy like, just not to be like disrespectful of a child and of the dead, but like, is he just like a loser? Or was it bad parenting? His mom wasn't watching what he was doing on the internet, because he was like 14, I think. Like, that's like, I don't think that the mom should be blamed for that. Like, 14 is kind of like a big age. And then it was like, or should character AI be blamed? But it's like, how the fuck were they supposed to know that that was gonna happen, you know? Anyways, it's just a weird topic to think about, and I was just like very surface level with the thought of AI, and I feel like somebody a bit smarter than me who knows more about this topic could like go on like even deeper. But I'm just doing it in the sense of what I like realize that I use often, like, you know, Google Maps, Google AI overview. I've spoken to ChatGPT, I use Alexa, like stuff like that. Very surface level to this topic. But yeah, that's it.